Good morning, good afternoon, welcome to our annual award ceremony, Goose Creek Rural Fire Department. This is for 2022. It's great to see the turnout this year. We changed the venue, kind of changed the event up a little bit, and you never know what's going to happen when you try something new. So I'm very happy to see everybody here today, and I hope everybody enjoys the festivities. So before we get started, if I could get everybody please rise, we're going to say a brief prayer and then the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, let us pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for allowing us to come and to celebrate and honor the members of this department and all the contributions and the way that they've given back to the community. We thank you for this day. We ask that you bless this food and bless us as we honor everyone. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Before we turn everybody loose at the buffet, I wanted to kind of give you a state of the fire department. So this last year we ran 1,659 calls. Each year we are growing and expanding more calls. We ran 62 structure fires this year. Again, another record for the Goose Creek Rural Fire Department. Of all the numbers though, the one that I find it's a little number, it's off to the side, but it's kind of significant. 250. 250 represents the number of times we responded to a call and we were canceled en route. And why I believe that is a significant number is it shows that our interagency cooperation is growing. As the county grows, we are reaching out and we are working more frequently with our neighboring departments. So that 250 times, that is a time one of our neighbors, whether it was the City of Goose Creek, the C&B Fire Department, Caramie, Pine Ridge, somebody asked for assistance, Pimlico asked for assistance, and we were on the way to help. That number's probably going to continue to grow. So it is only through the efforts of the men and women of this organization that we're able to answer those calls and be as effective as we are. So I want to thank everybody in this room that is wearing this uniform and wearing a uniform. I want to thank you for your assistance and your contributions. So, give yourself a hand. While we ran 1,659 calls, there were 14,971 calls for service answered by fire and EMS in Berkeley County this year, 508 structure fires. So again, we are seeing the growth. It is impacting us, but we are responding to that challenge. We are making that difference. Our fire department, your fire department, we continue to grow as well. Presently, our roster stands at 69 people, 35 volunteers on the suppression side responding to emergencies, 5 volunteer non-suppression folks helping with the admin side, 28 part-time in suppression and 1 part-time administrative. We continue to grow, we continue to thrive, and again, it's only because of your efforts. We are in the last year of our staffing for adequate fire response grant, the SAFER grant that we received in 2019. The goal of that grant was to recruit and retain 60 new people to the department. Through the beginning of December, the number recruited, 713 people have responded and have applied and been brought in on some level. That's phenomenal. We have hired 145 of those, and many of them are still here today. The retention rate is still above what's considered the national average, and I'm very proud of that. As well, the members of this organization should be proud of that. It shows a commitment that is sometimes absent in some quarters these days. So congratulations on that. Several accomplishments this year. One, from a training standpoint, we were able to certify the largest group of individuals we have in the department's history. You'll see this in the promotions that we do later on this afternoon, that number, and it is a big number. So congratulations again. Funding is always a challenge, so we are looking for different ways to support what we do. Grant funding is a big part of that. So this year alone, we received somewhere in the ballpark of about $85,000 in grants. The most notable of which is one that we just received from Firehouse Subs. If you eat a Firehouse Subs and they ask you to round up, let's do that, because that money's coming back. $35,000, we're going to be purchasing 12 new thermal imaging cameras, which will enable our firefighters to be much more effective in the course of their jobs. Another $30,000 from the state of South Carolina for their V-Safe grant program, which we put towards 6 new sets of turnout gear. $15,000 from Berkeley County Accommodations tax money. Philip Obie, who couldn't be with us today, he was instrumental in making that happen for us. And that's going to go toward a dryer for our turnout gear and some rapid intervention equipment. The next one, $10,000 from CSX. That's going toward stabilization equipment and cribbing that we're going to add to our cache of tools available to us when we get the call. And the last thing we have been working on all year, Lieutenant Rainey's been a big part of that, Chief Melton, our community risk reduction. We're working toward our South Carolina Fire Safe designation. It's a recognition the Fire Marshal's Office does annually, and we're hoping to be one of those departments this year. So a lot going on. You know, we're just glad to be part of this, and we're glad to be supporting y'all. Real brief before we break for lunch, I'd like to welcome some of our guests here today. Chief Carter from Pimlico Fire Department, Kevin, longtime member of our department. Captain Curtis is at the table with him. My boss, Board Chairman Orville Mills, Chief Josh Woodall from C&B Fire Department, Sam Gaither, the Communications Director. I'm just going to go around the room, and if I see the head, I'll call him out. Chief Larry Garvin from St. Paul's Fire Department. Past Chief Jim Phelps. You can stand up if you want. I give him a hard time because he gives me a hard time. Back table, a couple of my board members, Treasurer Dennis Dayton, Michelle Shirey. Past member Ken First sitting at the back table. His son's going to be one of the folks that gets recognized today. Got some folks from the county, emergency management director, Will Rochester, the fire marshal, Jerry Kale, and the sheriff's here. Where are you at? Sheriff Lewis is with us today, fresh off his appearance on patrol last night, and I know he appreciates me pointing that out. And I'd be remiss if I didn't note that the represented here today are the members of the Easterling and the Elrod family. Our first chief, Herbert Easterling, passed away early last year, and then just last month we lost our last founding member, Harold Elrod. And I appreciate that they're here today, and they will always be part of our family. So thank you. There's the gentleman with the recipe for the food. With that, I will turn this over to Chief Dickerson, who's going to do the next most important thing other than me talking, and that is point you to the food.
Sorry. You want to give directions?
Everybody just give us a moment and enjoy the food. Once again, welcome to the 2022 Goose Creek Rural Fire Department Awards Luncheon. We're going to get started now. The first part of our ceremony will be the promotional pinnings. So we will get started. I'll turn this to Chief Melton.
Good afternoon. Our first pinning today will be Deputy Chief Corey Dickerson, and he will be pinned by his wife Lynette and his son Harper.
Step forward. Oh, how do you want to? Camera's right here, so let's do this. There you go.
Turn.
Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you.
I think kindness rocks. And now you're the new assistant chief, so you get one.
Thank you. Next up for promotions to the rank of assistant chief, Gary Melton, and he's going to be pinned by his wife, Helen.
All right.
Set that over.
Next, we're going to do promotions to the rank of lieutenant. So if I can ask all of my lieutenants that are getting pinned and the person pinning them, if they don't mind standing over here. All right, first up, promoted to the rank of lieutenant, Cody Marlowe, and he's going to be pinned by his father, Andy Stavanis.
Turn around. Turn around.
Show us.
Pre-hold it? When did you pre-hold?
Congratulations.
There we go. Congratulations.
Congratulations, new certificate. Thank you. Next, we have Tom Nichols being pinned by his girlfriend, Kirsten.
Okay.
Congratulations. Thank you. Next up, we have James Rourke being pinned by his dad, James.
Or did that change?
No.
No?
We wanted it to be a surprise.
Yes, sir. Come on around here.
Please don't stab me. Please don't stab me. I've been nice to you for the last couple of weeks. You don't have to stab me.
Good job. Good job. Thank you. Corey, mind everybody, we're going to do formal pictures afterwards, just so they know.
Next up, we're going to promote those to the rank of engineer. So all of those that are being promoted to engineer, if you don't mind, coming over here to the side, and those that are going to be pinning them. And As everybody's getting into place, I just want to remind everyone we are going to take pictures after, so you will have time to take pictures after. As you can get closer, get a better picture. So after the ceremony, we will do pictures with all of the awards and pins. All right, the first person we have for being promoted to the rank of engineer is Dylan Bellotti, and he is being pinned by his fiancee, Caitlin.
What's going on around here?
Next, we have Joe First, and he's going to be pinned by his father, Ken First, and his wife, Erica.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay.
Yeah, she said that she didn't have her hair done and everything. So she
Okay. That's
Actually,
fine.
step back here a little bit.
Maybe twice. Okay.
Congratulations. Next, we have Noah Wilson, and he is going to be pinned by his mom, Teresa, and girlfriend, McKenna.
I'm going to give this to Mom.
Yeah, they've never done this before.
There you go. The light blue shirts might have been a bad decision.
There you go.
It's good.
You're welcome.
There you go.
I don't know.
Who's this? Congratulations. Next, we're going to have those that are going to be pinned to the rank of firefighter. If you don't mind making your way over here, and those that are going to be pinning you, please join them as well. The first one that we have being promoted to the rank of firefighter, Robert Burnett, and he is going to be pinned by Steve Node.
Come on up here. There you go. Right here. first. He's doing something. You're not.
Certificate.
Let me get you over here doing certificates so he can just.
Next, we have Sarah Coker, and she is going to be pinned by her father, Gene.
Yes, sir. Let's get you to step back here a little bit. There you go.
We do have medics in here, right?
Yep.
This is my opportunity.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Next, we have Gamal Coles, and he is going to be pinned by his wife, Vivian.
There you go. There is no certificate for him.
Here's the bad. You should push it down and skip it. That's good. You get elected.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Next, we have Cordy Dorman, and he's going to be pinned by his wife, Jordan.
There you go. Come on, just come on around here. There you go. Cordy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next, we have Jim Duritza. He is going to be pinned by Lieutenant Marlowe.
Better know how to do that.
Almost there. Good luck.
Congratulations. Next, we have Joshua Goff. Joshua is going to be pinned by his mom, Jamie, and girlfriend, Caitlin.
Let's go ahead and turn this way, face that way. There we go. And here you go.
Try to raise it right.
Josh. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Next, we have John Gumbar. He's going to be pinned by Lieutenant Nichols. Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
Next, we have EJ Harrell. He is going to be pinned by his girlfriend, Brianna. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Next, we have Colin Seabuth. He's going to be pinned by his wife, Carly.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations. I also want to take a moment and recognize some other promotions for people that are not able to be here, not able to be pinned today. To the rank of Lieutenant Sean Kennett and Tom Shipley. So I just want to take a moment and recognize them as well. And to the rank of firefighter, I want to recognize Dylan Bellotti, who was actually promoted to the rank of engineer, but in the same year he was also promoted to the rank of firefighter. But I want to take a moment and recognize Engineer Bellotti for that as well. Joe First also today was promoted to the rank of engineer, but he also just completed his requirements for firefighter as well. And Matt Pierce, also promoted to the rank of firefighter. Just so one last moment, I want to take a chance and recognize for all of those being promoted this morning.
Next page. Do the most calls.
Okay. So next, we're going to recognize those members who responded to the most calls for this past calendar year. So as I call your name, I'd like you to come forward and recognize you.
There's 2 trophies.
So in no particular order, Mike Adams. Unfortunately, Mike recently took a job out of state and was unable to be here today, but wanted to take a moment and recognize him. But also Dylan Bellotti, Robert Burnett, Sarah Coker, if you guys will come forward, Gamal Coles, Jim Duritza, Joe First, John Gumbar, Noah Wilson, and McKenna Young. So these are our members who responded to the most calls for this last calendar year of 2022.
We won. There you go. There you go.
So again, thank you to all of these. So as part of being in the top 10 for most calls responded, 2 of these members we'd like to recognize for responding to the most calls from both our volunteer and part-time staff. And those 2 that I want to recognize from our part-time staff is Joe First. Congratulations. And from our volunteer staffing, Jim Duritza.
Good job.
Congratulations. Congratulations. So thank you. You guys may be seated or...
What's next?
the service.
Okay. Also like to recognize members of the department for their length of service. When I call your name, if you would please rise. Some of those folks aren't in attendance today. 3 years of service: Jason Healy, Sean Kennett, Daniel Marriott, Tom Nichols, Board Member James Tennis, and Engineer Noah Wilson. I need that 5-year helmet front. For 5 years of service, I'm gonna sort of do something that I forgot to do about 2 years ago. Michelle Shirey, could you please make your way forward? While she's coming forward, I'll tell you, this year marks her 5th year on our board, and I'm usually pretty good about these things. But somehow, we got around to recognizing her 3 years of service last month. So we're going to make sure we don't screw that up again. So she's going to get her 5 years of service front today. So thank you, Michelle. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There you go. Again, please stand and be recognized when you hear your name. For 15 years of service, Corey Dickerson. Ron Dye. And Gary Melton. The next two individuals, these are probably, for me, they're the most important, except for my wife. Let's be clear about this, because they're my bosses. So 20 years of service, my board chairman, Orville Mills. And the only person on our roster that has longer tenure than me is my board treasurer, Dennis Dayton. He's in the back of the room. This year, at the request or the suggestion of one of our members, Cordy Dorman, we applied for recognition through the President's Council on Service and Civic Participation. That is a group that offers recognition for volunteer service. And as part of that submission, each of the members that I'm about to list receive both a certificate, a letter signed by the President, and a coin of the appropriate color based on their length of service or their amount of service and volunteerism. So when I call your name, please rise. We did some of these presentations before y'all arrived today. Gold, the gold level, Clint Broadwater, Sarah Coker, Gamal Coles, Jim Doritza, Josh Goff, Brett Peterson, Matt Pierce, Brad Rainey, Dallas Smith. Silver, Cordy Dorman, Will Kopach. And bronze, Ben Halder, Tom Nichols, Colin Seabuth. Rookie of the Year and Most Improved.
So next we would like to recognize the Rookie of the Year. And for the rest of these awards, these are awards that were nominated by members of the department. So these were the members that the majority of the department thought deserved this recognition. So for the first for Rookie of the Year, from our volunteer staffing is Dallas Smith.
You're welcome. Turn your crowd. Just step back to your left.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations.
Dallas, step back to your left.
Back over here.
Okay.
Next, for our part-time staffing, again, as this was a voting based off of peers of the department, we actually had a tie for our part-time staffing. So for the first person I want to recognize, Rookie of the Year for 2022 is EJ Harrell.
Switch. So much for alphabetical order. Hey man, pretend it's leg day. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Step back to the left too, next to Dallas.
I'd like to recognize Robert Burnett.
Congratulations. Thank you. Okay. You can go take a seat.
Congratulations. The next recognition that we want to make is for the Most Improved Firefighter for 2022. And then again, this was another peer-based award, and those that we want to recognize for Most Improved Firefighter is Dallas Smith and EJ Harrell.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Chief.
You can go sit.
Chief, yep.
You can go sit.
Thank you, guys.
You're good. Anytime an individual spends enough time in an organization where they reach the end on their own terms and they decide when they want to step aside, that is worthy of recognition. Retirement is a goal. One of the things that's said about an old firefighter, one of their primary jobs is to teach young firefighters how to be old firefighters. And I want to recognize 3 individuals who have done that for us. We have 3 retirees to recognize. When I call their names, would you please come forward? Assistant Chief Andy Stavanis, Lieutenant Ron Dye, Lieutenant Steve Node. Several years ago, we began the process of recognizing our retirees by awarding them a badge that is a replica of the original badge of this fire department. And by the notation at the bottom, retired, while their service is done, their memory and their achievements and all that they contributed will be remembered forever. So gentlemen, please step forward. Make a line. A straight one, let's try that out.
We know how to, we do
Chief,
remember how to follow.
thank you.
Thank you.
We didn't get in alphabetical order though, did we? No.
You didn't ask for that. Chief, appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Our class of retirees, 2022. There you go.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Sir, thank you. The next recognition that we would like to make is for Officer of the Year. And the Officer of the Year for 2022, as voted by their peers, Lieutenant James Rourke.
Congratulations. Good job.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
We do have a recognition. Unfortunately, health has prevented this man from attending today. A member of our board, a longtime associate of the fire department. His father served on the board for a number of years. But I'd like to announce and recognize that today Jimmy Tennis has been elevated to life member of the Goose Creek Rural Fire Department. So, round of applause. So supply chain issues have impacted everybody, and we're no exception. So we decided this year to recognize our military folks. Those of you who've long association with the fire department know that our relationship with the military dates back a very long time. Back true, Captain Curtis? Very long time. And it's often said at one time that if you walked into Goose Creek Rural Fire Department, half the equipment would stand and salute. So we've got a long history. One of the things we wanted to do this year was recognize both our military, both active duty and those who have stepped aside, either ending their enlistment or through retirement. And we'd hope to have a pin that they could wear proudly on their uniform. They are not arriving till February 15th, so we will be delivering those out individually. But I do want to recognize those individuals. So when I call your name, those members of the department who are still in the military, please stand to be recognized. Dylan Bellotti, E.J. Harrell, John Jelliff, Tom Nichols, Calvin Bennikin, Matt Ebersol, Gary Melton, Gamal Coles, Cordy Dorman, Jim Doritza, Matt Pierce. Thank you for your service. Hurricanes.
The next recognition that we want to make this afternoon is one of our Exceptional Duty Awards for the storm that we had this past year for Hurricane Ian. I'm going to read the certificate, and as I am going to call out the names of these individuals. So in October of 2022, as the region braced for a rapidly developing Hurricane Ian, members of the Goose Creek Rural Fire Department prepared for the worst. Over the course of 2 days, members staffed apparatus ready to serve the citizens of our district. For their selfless actions, these members are so recognized with the Exceptional Duty Award for Hurricane Ian on this date, January 21st, 2023. Those members, I would like you to come forward as we present this. Clint Broadwater, Sarah Coker, James Doritza, John Gumbar, Dallas Smith, and Bryce Spencer.
If you come up alphabetically, that would be helpful. Alphabetically. It's like shuffling cards. It's like shuffling cards here. There we go.
Thank you.
There we go. We're going to see who did well in school and who didn't. Mr. Gumbar.
Thank you.
No. Stand in a line. Figure that one out for me. Mr. Smith.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Mr. Spencer. There you go. Get you on a line up here.
Thank you, sir.
And Bryce. Everybody come this way a little bit.
Okay. What's next?
The next award that we're going to present this afternoon is a new award. This is something we've not done before, but we felt it was appropriate to recognize these individuals for being the difference. And I don't know if you've paid attention to social media any in the last few years, you would have noticed our slogan, even on the banner up here, of Be the Goose Creek Difference. And what does it mean to be the Goose Creek Difference? So we would like to recognize a few individuals for being the Goose Creek Difference for the Goose Creek Rural Fire Department. The first person we want to recognize is Marcella Chambers.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Marcella. The next person that we want to recognize for being the Goose Creek difference is Sarah Coker. Over the last few months and even the past year, Sarah has taken the initiative to head up several projects around the station, and we want to take the time to recognize Sarah for being the Goose Creek difference.
There you go.
The last person that we would like to recognize for being the Goose Creek difference is Ben Halder. Ben's not here with us this morning, but Ben has been instrumental in helping out with a lot of the IT-related work at the department, which has taken a huge weight off my shoulders. So I just want to take a moment and recognize and thank Ben for all that he's done.
Go ahead. You want to get those blocks for me? Next up, we've got some special recognitions, some thank yous. The first one, over the last few years, trying to organize an ever-growing and expanding budget and an ever-growing, expanding fire department has been a tremendous challenge. We've done a lot of changes, and some of those changes were facilitated by a member of another fire department, a neighboring fire department that we work very well with. And I want to recognize Deputy Chief Janine Schmidt with a special recognition plaque. I am not going to make her walk all the way up here. She just recently had a medical procedure, so I'm going to do this presentation at her table. Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't want to make you walk all the way up there.
Appreciate
You're good. You're good. Next up, I would like to recognize what I consider to be the fourth leg of public safety, and also the guy who probably dreads getting up on Monday morning because he's going to expect a phone call somewhere between about 7:30 and 9:30 from me about something that happened somewhere in the county. But I would like to thank, I do thank God that we have him, our 911 director and our 911 operators. I'd like to bring Director Sam Gaither forward to accept this plaque. Thanks, pal.
Thank you. All right.
Next up is another special thank you for the better part of last year. We had a volunteer on board who was helping us move some of our programs and our missions forward. And then he just got this crazy idea he was going to go work for Berkeley County again. He's a glutton for punishment, I don't know. But that whole division of emergency management is extremely important to what happens here in the county. And having somebody that we can rely on in that position is of more importance than I can actually explain. But I'd like to recognize and thank Berkeley County Emergency Management and their director, Will Rochester. Here. Chief's Award. Chief's Award. Come on up. We'll do it this way. We'll do it this way. How about that? Thanks. Thanks for coming. Thanks, pal. Thank you. Chief Dickerson mentioned earlier that all of the awards given today were voted on by the membership, all but one. That's mine, the Chief's Award. And over the years, my contributions, I never intended to be recognized for anything that I did. But I was lucky enough to get this award 3 times. By our records, I'm the only person that's gotten this award 3 times until today. The Chief's Award for 2022, Chief Gary Melton. You're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Congratulations, sir. Thank you.
There you go. There you go. Life-saving award, April. First one in April. We're called to serve, and it's not often that we get the opportunity to really make a significant difference and save somebody's life. So when we do that, it is worthy of recognition. So we have 3 such events that we want to recognize this year, so I will read the first one. Before I do that, I would like to call the following members forward. Firefighter Robert Burnett, Deputy Chief Corey Dickerson, Engineer Matt Ebersol, Firefighter Paul Horn, Engineer Noah Wilson. Please come forward. On April 20, 2022, personnel responded to a residence on Clarine Drive for a report of a sick person. Upon arrival, the crew of Squad 301 began assessing a patient when they began experiencing seizure-like activity, lost consciousness, and went into cardiac arrest. Basic life support protocols were initiated and advanced life support assistance was requested. The patient was loaded into the medic unit for transport. During the transport, the patient had a return to spontaneous circulation due to the care that had been administered. The quick and effective action of the crew that day certainly played a role in the outcome. It is for those actions on this date, January 21, 2023, the Goose Creek Rural Fire Department presents this life-saving award. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, have a seat.
The next event that we want to recognize actually happened 4 days after the recognition we just made, and I want to read this. On April 24th, 2022, personnel responded to a residence on Princeton Road for an unconscious person. Upon arrival, the crew of Squad 301 found a patient lying in the front yard. EMS personnel had already made contact and determined they were in cardiac arrest. Basic life support protocols were initiated and advanced life support assistance was requested. Prior to being loaded into the medic unit for transport, the patient had a return of spontaneous circulation due to the care that had been administered. The quick and effective action of the crew that day certainly played a role in the outcome. It is for those actions that on this date, January 21st, 2023, the Goose Creek Rural Fire Department presents this Life Safety Award. We want to recognize Cordy Dorman, Jim Duritza, and Joe First. Please come forward. This way.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. The next recognition for a life-saving award, this happened less than 2 weeks after this next event, this past event. I want to recognize these people. I'm going to call these people forward, and as they're coming forward, I'm going to read the names. I would like Joshua Goff, Jeff Rourke, and Noah Wilson to come forward, please. On May 5th, 2022, personnel responded to a residence on Westfield Avenue for an unconscious person. Upon arrival, the crew of Squad 301 found a patient lying on the floor with a family member performing CPR. A quick assessment confirmed the patient was in cardiac arrest. Basic life support protocols were initiated and advanced life support assistance was requested. After a dose of medication, the patient had a return of spontaneous circulation due to the care that had been administered. The quick and effective action of the crew that day certainly played a role in the outcome. It is for those actions that on this date, January 21st, 2023, the Goose Creek Rural Fire Department presents this life-saving award.
Thank you. Josh, stay.
Congratulations. Thank you again.
What's next?
Top performer.
Okay. When I became chief, I thought of a special award or recognition. What is something that every firefighter desires? And it is a helmet that looks like that. I've had several in my career. They're really expensive, but they're really nice. So our top performer is somebody that, again, selected by their peers, and they really shine through. This is not a gray area. This is either you are or you aren't. And this individual has certainly hit that bar, cleared it, and is moving forward. It's very unfortunate for us that because of his military service, he won't be with us much longer. But we are thankful for the time we've had. We are thankful for all that he's contributed, and we hope someday to meet again on the road. But our top performer for 2022, Jim DeRitza. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Jim, have a seat. For those of you who are regular attendees of this event, while this was never meant to be a pairing, a partnership, a coupling, we have in the last 9 years, it's been my privilege to present these awards, we have had this occur. This is the last award we'll present today because it's the most important. This is our Firefighter of the Year, and our Firefighter of the Year for 2022 is somebody who in the last year completed not only his Firefighter 2 training, additional medical training, he completed driver training, pump operator training, he's getting ready to start instructor class in 2 weeks, has really made a difference, and when he's not at work, he's at the fire station. And he is an important part of what we do. Our Firefighter of the Year 2022, Jim DeRitza. Good job. Good job.
Congratulations.
Good job. Come over this way. Move this way. Stage left. Stage left. Here we go. Here we go.
Get Steve's phone.
Okay. Great job. Thank you. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Well, that completes our 2022 awards. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was a good time. And if it is, I give all the credit to Deputy Chief Dickerson. He planned this. I kind of put it on him and said, you want to make it happen, make it happen. So he made it happen. And I thank everyone for attending. Where are my folks that are going to handle the next part of this event? We're going to give away these awesome prizes, these gifts, tokens of our esteem for you attending. Again, thank you, and please stay around, enjoy each other's company. Thank you.